We had a family gathering over Easter, including my aunt and her daughter Louise and Louise's family. Aunt Dot isn't related to us. She's married to my Uncle Len, who came out to Australia on the same ship as my dad, and they've been like brothers ever since. I'm going to be blunt. I don't like Louise. If I had my own way, I'd have nothing to do with her. But I love my aunt and uncle, and I'm Uncle Len's medical decision-maker, so I have to suffer her presence. Uncle Len is in a nursing home because of his frail health. If I gave you the full list of my reasons for disliking Louise, I'd never get to the petty revenge. But here are the edited heights. She does mean and hurtful shit, and then brushes it off with, "But I didn't mean to," or "I was only trying to help," or "But I'm just Sandy what I feel." Including the time she tried to stop my sisters from going to my mum's funeral 20 years ago, because they're fostered and not real family. The irony has been noted. She's also an Olympic hopeful in the heavyweight competitive child-raising event. Aunt Dot and Louise arrived with a frilly green dress and matching bloomers for my 6-month-old Vampira. She has 2 teeth and likes fingers. While I was settling the adult guests in and handing out chocolate ovoids to the younger kids, my partner Martin dressed Vampira in her new outfit. She looked like an adorably cross frog in a frock. Aunt Dot had a cuddle and asked Louise to take a couple of photos. Then Louise wanted a cuddle and started rattling on about how Vampira was 6 months old and can't sit up unaided. But her wonder kids, aged 5 and 7, were sitting up and playing the grand piano at 4 months. Okay, I'm exaggerating. They don't have a grand piano. When Vampira started getting squirmy and irritable, Martin said she probably had a tummy ache and tried to take her back. Louise kept saying she was good with babies and she would soon get Vampira settled. Martin and I were telling Louise in increasingly loud and firm tones to give her back, and Louise kept insisting Vampira would settle down for her. After a while, Vampira relaxed and gave Louise a toothy smile. Louise beamed back and said, "See, I told you." I remember getting a look from Martin that said, "Well, we tried." Seconds later, Louise shoved a wailing Vampira back at Martin and sprinted for the bathroom. You see, what I hadn't told Louise was that we've been introducing cereals into Vampira's diet, because a growing baby cannot live on fingers alone, and it hasn't been going well. Vampira had unleashed a poo tsunami, which leaked out of her nappy, up the back of the new dress and onto Louise, and it was one of her most odoriferous efforts yet. Martin did a clean-up and complete outfit change, and gave Vampira her favorite teething dragon, so she was soon happy-ish. But the green dress and bloomers were beyond saving, and Louise's top might not make it either. All of which could have been avoided if she'd just handed Martin the baby when he'd asked. "Sorry, Lou, but I'm not paying for a new top." But the petty revenge cherry on top of the baby poo sundae came at dinner. The meal started with pureed veggie soup, and my middle sister asked if Louise wanted to feed Vampira. "Seeing as you are good with babies," Louise angrily declined. I pretended to pout and accused Louise of hurting Vampira's feelings, saying, "But she didn't mean to." I'd been waiting nearly 20 years for my chance to say that back to Louise, and it felt good. Edited to remove dumb spelling mistakes. Comment by user. She might fake not sitting upright, but she sounds like a well-trained mercenary. I mean baby. Reply by original poster. At her age, I think her digestive system is her main defense weapon. /s. Maybe if I bought her a grand piano, she would have an incentive to sit up and play it? Estimated time of arrival? Or should that be a baby grand? Bottom tish. Comment by user. **T happens. Reply by original poster. Doesn't it just? Comment by user. **T happens. Reply by original poster. I just ran that through Google Translate, and the Latin version is stercor accidit. When I back-translated it, the English came out as "it happened to the dung," which I find hilarious. I'm thinking of turning it into a family crest and motto. Comment by user. I just don't understand people who won't give a baby back, particularly to the parents. If Louise knows as much about babies as she claims, she should have known babies usually have a very good reason to be unsettled. Reply by original poster. I sincerely hope Louise learned a valuable lesson that day. Fun fact, Louise is a nurse. Not a pediatric nurse, thankfully. But I think she graduated from university with a grad dip in I Know Best. Plus she is very competitive about child raising, so she probably did think she could get Vampira to calm down, and then hand her back smugly, inferring she is the superior parent. Comment by user. I feel like I have lived this day with you. You are an amazing writer. It doesn't hurt that I also had a chompy baby who couldn't live on fingers alone either. Reply by original poster. Chompy babies have their own unique and sometimes painful charm. Comment by user. Oh my, that was dead on. And every time you see her for the next few years or forever, your call. You get to sing-song say to your sweet Vampira, now what aren't we going to do today? And she says, poop on Louise. And she'll be so happy to say it because she knows it makes you laugh and laugh. Reply by original poster. This is making me grin like a Cheshire cat. While I very much hope her first actual word is something like mama or dada or cat, which was apparently my first word, I would be very proud if her first full sentence is poop on Wheeze, or indeed, her actual first name, which would be even better. Comment by user. You should introduce her to Bucket Woman. Reply by original poster. They have had an encounter, but that was before we started introducing solids. So maybe it's time they were reintroduced? Martin said he bagged up the dress and bloomers before putting them in the bin, because they were pretty noxious, but we have both wondered what Buckety's response would be if she poked her nose into that particular bin. Comment by user. I'm dying over here rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. My cousin did exactly this to Aunt Fluffy, her husband was Uncle Ego, when she was a baby. Aunt Fluffy hasn't held a baby since, and said cousin is over 30. Yes, said aunt is still live. Not kicking all that much though. Reply by original poster. Thanks to my brother-in-law's quick thinking in opening the windows, and the icy wind outside, the fatalities at our place were limited to the dress and bloomers, and maybe Louise's top/s. I kind of think that when you ask to hold someone else's infant, you kind of accept the risk that the infant will leak. But maybe that's me. Loving the names Aunt Fluffy and Uncle Ego. Comment by user. This is probably my favorite petty revenge post ever. You are a magnificent writer. Adorably cross frog in a frock. Just did me right in. Reply by original poster. Yes, I think it is safe for mom and dad to assume there isn't a girly girl inside her waiting to bust out. Comment by user. Beware the fussy baby who is suddenly calm. Reply by original poster. Is that like beware the anger of a patient man? Which pretty much describes her father. Comment by user. OMG, I'm dying over here. Rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing, rolling on the floor laughing. Reply by original poster. Come and sit by the open window and get some fresh air before you pass out. Comment by user. Probably the best written post I've ever come across here. She has 2 teeth and likes fingers. Hilarious. Reply by original poster. Actually, that's not strictly true. She also liked chewing the silicone case on my iPhone. Comment by user. Entertaining as always. Reply by original poster. To quote my cousin Louise, I'm just saying what I feel. Edited to add. This is kind of fun, quoting Louise. Comment by user. This is perfection. Aunt Lou gets the shit. Reply by original poster. I never even thought of Aunt Lou when I was inventing her name. I called her Louise because, well, geez, Louise is something we often say and shake our heads about. Comment by user. This was absolutely beautiful. I don't usually love other people's kids like this, but I love your daughter, and not in a creepy way. Wish I didn't feel the need to add this, but it is Reddit, and her name. Way to go, kid. Proud of you. And proud of you too, mama. Hopefully she had the sour face from the taste of her own medicine. Reply by original poster. Thank you. I get it. I love how Vampira thoroughly punctured Louise's ego. Comment by user. One of them was full of shite. Reply by original poster. Love your username. I think both of them were full of shite, but one emptied herself into her nappy. Comment by user. Punami is absolutely inspired. I'm stealing this next time my irritable bowel syndrome seizes control. Reply by original poster. It's not stealing if it's in the public domain. Feel free. P.S. Sorry to hear about your irritable bowel syndrome. Comment by user. Awesome revenge. Reply by original poster. Thank you. I didn't realize how much anger I still had over what she did around Mum's funeral, until I finally got the chance to say that back to her. Comment by user. I hope you gave Vampira a nice finger to nibble on for her good deed. Reply by original poster. Martin assures me he washed his hands thoroughly before offering up his left hand for a comforting chew. Comment by user. We have a Louise in the family. I'm not a hugger, and she ignores this. However, I had a new, at the time, dog. A Belgian Shepherd. A dog that growled at her for 4 days every time she got near me because said dog witnessed my discomfort when I got grabbed into an unwanted hug from behind. She didn't growl at anyone else who was visiting that week. They all got love and kisses. Reply by original poster. I think nearly every family has a Louise in there somewhere. Our pets, cats and a rabbit, don't come to my rescue. The older pets have learned to recognize the sound of her car pulling up and run and hide. And the younger pets take their cue from the older. Comment by user. I have lost at baby roulette several times in several different ways. I no longer hold babies. She tried to stop my sisters from going to my mum's funeral 20 years ago because they're fostered and not real family. And you continue to let this bitch into your house and lives because... Reply by original poster. Because we were raised to be kind to dumb creatures? /s. Seriously, we didn't have much contact with her for a long time after that. But now the parents' generation is getting older and frailier. Her dad is in the nursing home and he's appointed me his medical decision-maker, so I have to have some level of contact with her, and I suck it up for Uncle Len and Aunt Dot's sake. To be honest, I was surprised Louise came over. Louise hates my middle sister because my middle sister extracted a proper apology from her, and Louise has avoided her ever since. Comment by user. I gotta say, this is one of the most entertaining stories I've read on this sub. Bravo, you are a great and hilarious storyteller. Tell Louise I told her she can get wrecked. If she gets mad, tell her it's not from you, it's from me. Reply by original poster. I've said far worse things to Louise and she stays away for 6 months or so, then sweeps it all under the rug and goes on like it never happened. So with any luck, I won't hear from her until one of her children wins the Nobel Prize for medicine or something. Comment by user. And it was one of her most odoriferous efforts yet. I was loving the whole story, but this line literally had me LOL. Sucks to be Louise. Hey. Reply by original poster. I've worked in healthcare for a long time, and I've smelled some truly vile things. But this one really made my nose hairs curl. Comment by user. A Vampira. You really shouldn't use your child's real name on here. And if that's not her real name, it should be. Reply by original poster. I know, what were Martin and I thinking? Not calling her Vampira? /s. Well, maybe we were thinking births, deaths, and marriages might have something to say about it. Comment by user. Next time she asks to hold the baby, just say, well, she hasn't pooped in a couple days, are you sure? Ha ha ha. Reply by original poster. An offer to lend her one of those cheap plastic raincoats you can buy at outdoor events when they expect rain. Just in case. Comment by user. Love to hear how Tiny Human has morphed into Vampira and has been learning the art of revenge from her lovely parents. Are there any been stories of the disposal of Vampira's contributions? Reply by original poster. Yes, well, I thought, at what point does a new human stop being new at it? Then when she started teething and chomping on fingers, she briefly became the vampire baby. But then I decided that was too much effort to type, so let's just nickname her Vampira. I think Vampira has been imbibing petty revenge along with her mother's milk, and her fingers if she doesn't get them out of the way in time. I don't know if Buckety poked her nose in that particular bin, but I like to imagine how far she recoiled in horror. Comment by user. Toward the end, I thought you were going to tell Louise the soup reminded you of liquid shit, timed perfectly with her swallowing some soup. Reply by original poster. Probably would have been funnier, but you know what? Finally getting to say, she didn't mean to back to Louise soothed a sting in my heart that had been there a long time. Comment by user. Sorry is Australian for sorry, right? Reply by original poster. Yes. Sorry for not explaining. Comment by user. Now you need to turn this into an ongoing family memory. Remember the time Vampira pooped on you? Bonus points if you can get her mom to say it face with tears of joy. Reply by original poster. I have a feeling my dad is going to bring this up to Louise a lot. Comment by user. My nephew was about the same age when I was asked to take care of him during my sister-in-law's wedding ceremony because his mom was the maid of honor. He had a poo explosion all over himself and me right in the middle of the vows. Not a great look on either of us. Reply by original poster. Funny story. When she was little, my middle sister thought the marriage celebrant said, "Speak now or forever hold their peas." Comment by user. Louise sounds like a majestic cunt. Reply by original poster. Dad calls her a hemorrhoid. Comment by user. I seriously dislike the Janes. You know plenty of Janes. They are the women who always seem have perfectly messy hair in ponytail. They are wearing those ridiculous tracksuit things. Thus the perfectly coiffed messy hair. And half of them have juicy written across their ass. Their kids are perfect little angels who did everything way ahead of other kids. But seriously, they say all-knowing, don't worry. Not every baby will be as advanced as mine are. You usually want to smack the snot out of them. Those are the women my friends and I referred to as the Janes. What gets me about the whole thing, my kids are all young adults now, 20 and 23, is that it doesn't matter a hill of beans when they do all that stuff. I had one that didn't walk until almost 18 months, which was awesome. It's so much easier before they get mobile. And another that walked, well, mostly ran at 9 months. Yes, 9 months. And let me tell you, it sucked ass. She was entirely too little and wobbly. She'd careen down the hallway after her brother running like some wind-up Chucky doll or something. It was exhausting as hell. But she idolized her brother. If he did it, she had to do it. She was crawling at 4 months, which really was crazy to watch. We hated it. She was too young to be getting into everything. Hell, she barely had solid foods yet. I wanted to wrap her in bubble wrap. I'm surprised child services never visited us. She always had bruises from falling or bumping into stuff. Anyway, my point is that it doesn't matter. Babies have their own schedules for stuff like that, and as long as they are progressing well and hitting milestones, tell the Janes to piss off. It makes it harder because not only is your Jane a family member, they are also an older, wiser one that you're supposed to listen to, etc. Nod your head a lot and exchange. This isn't happening. Looks with Martin across the table. Reply by original poster. I refer to Vampira as endearingly average. So long as she hits, or should that be bites and drains? Most of her milestones within a normalish time frame were good. She was a little early with the teeth, and she might be a little late with sitting up by herself. I said in another comment that her eldest was barely speaking at 2 years of age. Louise was worried he might be autistic. Turned out he didn't talk, because he had no need to. Louise was talking for him and anticipating all of his needs. But now Louise denies any of that happened, and insists that he spoke at some insanely early age. Probably claims he recited Shakespeare in the womb or something. Martin and I don't take Louise seriously. For a start, we're actually older than she is, and between us we have 4 older kids, aged 15 to 19, from our previous marriages. So when Louise brags about how her 5-year-old knows her 27 times tables, Martin and I give each other the look that says, wait until she reaches the starting to date, learning to drive, and deciding what to study at university years. Comment by user. Please help me find this teething dragon. Reply by original poster. This is the teething dragon. https://www.amazoncamo/boon babyboys silicone teether dragon /dp/bgyv/ref equals sr__read equals oqcbfggt and keywords equals teething plus dragon and qid equals and des prefix equals d. It's labeled as a boy's teething toy, and there is a girl's teething unicorn. https://www.amazon.com /boon baby girls silicone teether university-corn /dp/b079850 8yn/ref equals SR_1_19. Crid equals 30QC05B7F3GGT and keywords equals teething plus dragon and QID equals 168169528 and prefix equals teething plus dragon %2 caps %2C304 and SR equals 8-19. If that matters. To be honest, I just picked the first silicone teether I came across that she could also wave around as a toy. More shoddy parenting on my part, no doubt. Comment by user. You got the potty revenge. Reply by original poster. Ha 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 ha. Comment by user. The pseudonyms you used had me picturing all this literal shit going down in black and white. Reply by original poster. Consider yourself lucky you didn't get the smell-o-vision version. Comment by user. Chocolate ovoids rolling on the floor laughing. Reply by original poster. Glad someone liked that one. Because I've never gotten my head around why an Easter rabbit would bring eggs. Comment by user. Aren't babies supposed to be strictly on a breast milk diet until like 8 months? Reply by original poster. In Australia, the recommendation for introducing solids is not before 4 months, but start introducing foods that can cause allergies at around 6 months. And by introducing, I mean offering her a spoonful or two of something new, as an extra, not as a replacement for breast milk. Over Easter, we set aside a small amount of veggie soup for Vampira to try if she wanted to. Which she did, although she ended up wearing more soup than she swallowed. Comment by user. I'm just curious what your business partner has to do with anything? Reply by original poster. Martin is my romantic partner. Please leave your story in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe to get new update. Thank you.